You know, I heard they recently decided to add more hops to it.
And I'm in the front row, and I'm hammered drunk.
You do not have anything to drink. Can I get you a tasty refreshment?
Yes. I'll have a beer.
Wunderbar.
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
And welcome to another episode of the Buzz Basement Bros podcast. My name is Aaron, and I am joined by, he's on tracks to be the dad of the year, Andy. With your fucking jelly bean.
I was going to say, is that because of my jelly bean?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How is it driving a fucking clown car?
You know what? It's not as bad as you'd think.
Really?
It's
Only
just
ridden in
horrible.
it once. Oh, it's still not fun.
I mean,
But I get 30 miles to the gallon.
yeah, the gas is what saves it. And the
It's
fact
not.
that
It's not a
Bluetooth.
sexy car.
No, it's not.
It's not quite as ugly as a PT Cruiser, but it's close-ish. I don't want to say close. Close-ish.
Thanks for that, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Mr. Being responsible and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck you. I jam out in that thing all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To show tunes?
Sometimes show tunes. Sometimes.
Just sometimes?
Just sometimes.
Hello, my darling.
Hello, my honey.
Or whatever the fuck.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
If I were a rich man.
Actually, I don't think I've ever listened to Fiddler on the Roof.
Well,
of my
next
car.
time you drive to work, you're gonna jam to Fiddler.
I am probably going to do that.
You're gonna have to.
I've jammed to the producers in there.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, I've been in your car a couple times. Yeah, that's right. We rode to auditions together in that thing.
Mhm.
I got covered in fucking daisy hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really listen to a whole bunch of show tunes, but I do jam out in there.
No, yeah. I mean, I bump it in my truck.
So
I was trying to get amped to go play softball, and I'm like, put on some Outkast because I can hit the button and Siri play fucking Outkast, and it did, and it sounds pretty good. I just have a stock stereo.
yeah, same.
My buddy Cameron came to town. See, look at Siri, that bitch.
No, Siri, we can't do that.
Yep.
It's
Pause.
copyrighted.
It was trying to play it had like the worst. I mean, I like Hey Ya, but that's what it tried to play some speaker box Love Below. I have played that acoustic at open mic night before. When Cameron came to town, he just got himself he came to town last weekend. He got himself a Tacoma. Used Tacoma, but the bitches, they changed the oil. They'll fucking run forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I mean, it's real nice. It's a real nice Tacoma. It's only a couple years old. It's got 30, no, probably, I think it's got 45,000 miles on it or something. But he spent some money getting a sound system installed. So he got new door speakers, new column A speakers, and then he got a 10-inch subwoofer behind the back seat because it's a crew cab. It sounded really fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, and it wasn't. Back in high school, I had a lot of friends that they'd put subwoofers in their car, and they'd put 212s in it with a homemade box, and it would just be all bass, and you couldn't hear any fucking lyrics, and it would just be shitty. But his stereo, it was well balanced. It sounded really fucking good.
Good.
Yeah,
He did it right.
he did do it right. It doesn't need to be all bass. It doesn't need to rattle the fucking... What drove me nuts is a lot of friends, they put these ridiculous speakers in there with a high-powered amp, and, they wouldn't replace the door speakers, and so the door speakers would blast, and then the subwoofers in the trunk would just rattle the license plate. And it sounded like fucking dog shit, dude. Listening to Carter 3, and it's just all...
Pretty sure Adam did that.
He had subs?
In one of his cars.
I never had the interest in doing it. Because I wasn't listening. Well, I mean, I was listening to rap music, but I was listening to a lot of rock and country.
Yeah. See, I was never into rap, so for me it was like, why?
Yeah, what's the point?
Why? Yeah.
Listen to talk radio. You don't need subs for talk radio.
No, I don't listen to talk
Actually,
radio.
I think I have enough baritone in my voice. I wouldn't sound bad through subs and talk radio. Let me know how that works.
No, I never listened to talk radio.
Hey, baby. No.
I swear to God, if you start saying a lot of B's and P's and...
The pop. You get the pop. I mean, we got the windscreens, but you hear the pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
S's, even S's sometimes. English is stupid.
3 languages in a trench coat.
That's right.
Yeah. But, no, Adam... I think Adam had a subwoofer.
Just one?
Yeah.
But Cameron had just... It's a Tacoma, so it's a smaller cab. It's not as big as the cab in my, crew cab truck.
Mm-hmm.
So he just had 110 hiding behind the seat, and it sounded fucking great. But he spent a lot of money on door speakers, so that made it sound better too.
Mm.
It's a nice stereo.
Yeah, I never got the allure of doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Of course, at the time I probably had money and
Could have.
all that stuff to do it. I think that's when I was listening to a lot of either Irish music or show tunes.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of bass for that.
No.
No. Not really, no. I mean, but if you're bumping Carter 3 or Outkast,
Yeah.
fucking Siri, then yeah, some bass sounds good. Little extra bass. But I have my, I use Spotify. I have Spotify tuned. I think I have it on the R&B setting, tweaked R&B setting, and then I have my car stereo tweaked. So it actually, I mean, I have the cheaper Ford version of they have 2 different echelons. Maybe 3 now. 3 echelons of stereos, and I have the cheapest one. But I think it still sounds fucking good. Neighbor one time I pulled up, was coming home from a night shift, and he's taking his crap. I don't know, he was wandering, getting the mail or some shit, 7:30 in the morning, and he's like, "You got subs in this thing?" And I'm like, "No, I wish I fucking did."
So it probably sounded good.
Yeah, I got it tweaked so it sounds fucking great to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, after years of fighting for Pandora, I will say
You like Spotify now?
Spotify is pretty good.
No, Spotify doesn't pay artists shit, but it is definitely the most user-friendly music app.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked about this before, but
I think you have.
I've had Amazon Music. I've paid for Amazon Music. I've paid for Apple Music, and I've paid for Spotify. Apple Music, it might sound a little better, but if I'm playing it through my phone speakers, I don't really notice.
Yeah.
And Apple Music is like, okay, here's everything we have. Have fun. Amazon Music is, we're trying, but we're going to charge the same amount. And then Spotify is, here's everything. We're going to roll out new user interfaces. You can share music. Spotify is the best user experience out of all 3 paid music streaming services.
Oh, I know.
And I have a family plan, so it's actually cheaper.
Yes. You,
Yes.
Anna, and Fred.
And my mother.
Oh, and your mother.
Yeah.
I forgot about your mother.
So it's $5 a month per person. They've raised the rates a little bit since I signed up, but it's still with how much music I fucking listen to, and I can just hit a button and it'll play whatever the fuck I please, especially when I'm driving. It's worth it.
I will say it's very nice because I guess I was having this conversation with one of my coworkers the other day. Like, him and I will send Spotify links back and forth, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And I was talking to him the other day. I'm like, hey, I had the realization that, Pandora was great because the channels on there, you'd just type in what you'd want to listen to, and it would just give you a general gist of, like, here you go.
And Spotify does that too.
Spotify does that, but what I like about Spotify is, like, I want to listen to this album. Okay, here's this album, and when the album's done, here you go.
We think you'll like this too.
Yeah, or here's more things from the same artist. Where Spotify was, you'd look up, like, the artist, and they'd be like, here's a song, and then here's a song from someone else.
No, you're talking about Pandora.
Yeah.
It was
Sorry,
radio.
Pandora.
It was radio.
Yeah.
You can't listen to an entire album.
Correct. You couldn't listen
Then
to
Apple
an album.
would be, okay, here's the entire album and maybe a bonus track, but then fuck you, it's done playing after that.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you like any real recommendations or anything.
Yeah. So I was telling them, like, Pandora was nice because, like, one of the couple of links that I sent them, or, you know, shit that I showed them, I'm like, that's where I learned about this artist or this artist.
Right.
And I go, but Spotify's growing on me because I'm getting into, like, the nostalgia kick for whatever reason. Probably because I'm in the process of playing a Xbox 360 game. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look up. One, you can make your own playlists.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a playlist for, like, good songs from video game soundtracks of the video games I grew up on.
And then when you're like, oh, I think I got the playlist done, it'll be at the bottom. You're like, oh, we think you should
Correct.
add
And
these too.
yeah, and
oh, fuck yeah, hit a
and
button, it's right
yep.
there.
I found the startup menu for Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue
What, in
on Spotify.
original 8-bit?
Yeah.
It was 8-bit. Yeah, it was 8-bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dun 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 dun. Ba, ba, ba.
I don't usually play with my emulator. On my old laptop, I never had the sound on. But I mean, I remember playing it with the noise on Game Boy Color, which I still have. I was digging through shit the other day. It's still up there.
So yeah, I was telling him about that. I'm like, so yeah, I started creating a list of video game soundtracks,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got another list that I
Other nerd shit.
no,
The Hobbit soundtrack or some shit.
Not quite. I do have other nerd shit on there, but I have another playlist of songs to send Jack. His name's Jack.
Yeah.
I'm like, because we, like, half the time I told him this many times ago, probably 2 weeks. Like, I'm glad that we can send links back and forth to this, you know, from Spotify. But every time you send me a link, they're jamming songs, and I feel like I have to one-up you.
Well, yeah, that's the magic of sending music back and forth.
And he said, same. And so I just started creating a playlist. So if I find one, I can just go, I'll send that to him.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'll send it to him at some point.
This is... I haven't seen... Well, my parents popped out, a month ago?
Yeah, something like that.
2 months ago? But I randomly found this video. Somebody's been doing deep fakes of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's a deep fake of Arnold Schwarzenegger singing Over the Rainbow, Somewhere Over the Rainbow from fucking Wizard of Oz. Somewhere over the rainbow. I sent it to my dad. Because that's one of his favorite movies of all time. I don't understand why. He fucking loves the Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Again, I don't know.
Like, yeah, it's a classic, but why?
No
why?
idea. He can quote the entire fucking thing. I have no idea. Maybe it's from his childhood. Maybe that's the only thing I don't know. No idea.
I mean, I remember watching it like every time growing up and having
panic attacks when the flying monkeys came
in.
Yeah,
no.
the flying monkeys freaked me out back in the day.
I always remember Mom saying that she I remember. Mom would always say that she always remembered huddling around one of her aunts' TVs, or grandmother, one of her relatives' TVs, because they had the TV, the colorized TV.
Oh yeah, fancy
and
pants.
That was like one of the first movies that ever came out.
I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the first.
It was one of the firsts.
And they transitioned in the middle of the movie from black and white to color.
to color.
And then back to black
and white.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a fantastic fucking story.
Yeah.
And back in the day, practical effects, they're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They're
yeah.
great. And what was that, made in the fucking 30s? Like,
I think.
look it up. See what year it was made. But the... So I originally sent him the Arnold Schwarzenegger deep fake of, somewhere over the rainbow. So then randomly I'm at fucking work and my dad keeps kooky hours and he texted me at 2 a.m. and apparently his YouTube algorithm gave him a deep fake of Arnold Schwarzenegger singing the Willy Wonka song. Pure imagine. Sorry, that wasn't Arnold. Pure imagination.
Yes, 1939.
See? In the 30s. So his YouTube is full of Arnold Schwarzenegger deepfakes now, and he likes to send them to me. I started his fucking habit. Technology's come a long way.
Jeez.
But then, so randomly on my TikTok, he definitely doesn't have TikTok. He's not that hip.
No.
He has a couple new hips, but he's not that hip. I found this video of Bill Hader being interviewed on Conan fucking 10, 15 years ago or something. And Bill Hader, before he was on SNL, he was a assistant or some shit on a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he talks about the first time he met Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah. Getting him coffee, right?
And he's got, Bill Hader's like, he's got the big cigar in his mouth, and he's looking for his hair and makeup guys, and he's talking to Bill Hader, and he asks him where the hair and makeup guys Arnold does. And Bill Hader goes, well, I don't know, but I could find him. And then Bill Hader, he does great impressions. He's fantastic at impressions. His Al Pacino is off the fucking chain. He does his Arnold impression. He goes, find them. Show me your leadership capabilities. So I've been trying to work that into conversations with my new guy at work. Show me your leadership capabilities. And he just looks at me funny. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? So then I had to send him the link too.
Oh, Jesus. That's good.
I mean, we were a little young, but remember, he was the governor of California for
a long time.
8 years, I think it was.
I think it was longer than that.
And it wasn't California, it was California.
Thought it was longer than that.
It might. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what their term limit is or anything, but he was the governor for a while. That's what they called him. They called him the fucking governor. It's a great name.
Is there a term limit for governor?
I don't know. It might depend on the state. I don't know.
I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, look it up because I'm actually kind of curious. But he was the governor. We were kind of young. Late 90s, early 2000s when he was governor of California. Dude is out there. He's old, but he's still yoked as fuck, dude. I don't think there was a bigger superstar.
2003 till 2011.
Yeah, 2 terms. I think they do 4-year terms. Is there a term limit? I don't know. It might vary state by state. Politics shift and everything. So
yeah,
2 terms. I remember there at one point in time there was Arnold should be president. Well, he can't be president because he's not a natural born citizen.
Correct.
You'd have to make an amendment, and then you'd have to you'd have to overhaul the Constitution just for Arnold to be president. It was never going to happen.
Yes.
The governor. Show me your leadership capabilities. It's funny as fuck, dude. Maybe I should start saying that to your kid.
Oh, Jesus.
Not the young one, the older one, to Tofu.
I mean, you could.
Pick up your toys. Show me your leadership capabilities.
I mean, I'd just be happy with him to
putting on fucking pants.
Well, that and to start wiping his own ass.
Well, take this toilet paper. Show me your leadership capabilities.
Spread them cheeks.
Yeah, that's a big first step. We could give him a little fake cigar and everything too.
I'm looking up if California actually has
his term limits.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. You know who else was governor of California for a time? Ronald Reagan.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of Ronald Reagan and his policies, but what I hear is, I think it was at MGM Studio, and this has been circulating around the internet for a while now. Nancy Reagan, Mrs. Just Say No to Drugs, was the queen of blowjobs at MGM Studio. I think that was the studio.
Really?
The throat goat, Nancy Reagan.
Wow.
Just don't smoke the weed. It's a gateway drug. It was fantastic at giving fucking blowjobs. That's what I hear.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Picture that good, wholesome First Lady Nancy Reagan.
I don't
just
want to.
gobbling on cock back in the 50s.
I don't want to.
It's funny to me. Well, I mean, she was younger. You could probably I could look up a picture of her younger, but she was a fucking smoke show
That'd be like saying
smoke show with no gag reflex.
That'd be like saying, imagine your grandma.
Well, no, I'm not going to imagine my grandma. That'd be weird. But Nancy Reagan,
All right, so it'd be like, imagine Betty White.
dude, she was a smoke show back in the day. Hang on, we got to look up Nancy Reagan first. Nancy Reagan 50s. Oh, dude, look at her. I mean, classic 1950s. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Wholesome. Take home to your family. Post World War II. So apparently she was great at giving head.
Oh, dude. Speaking of giving head.
Oh, Jesus. Giving or receiving?
So,
Dude, Betty White was a fucking stunner, too.
I was at work the other day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Sitting around.
For the record, that is a hell of a segue.
Yeah. Sitting around the kitchen table, having dinner and all that shit. And I forget how it came up. Oh, you know what? That's why. We had Jimmy.
Oh, tell me more.
We had Jimmy John's.
Oh, I like Jimmy John's.
Or I didn't have Jimmy John's. I had whatever I had brought in or leftovers, something like that.
Dude, I eat Jimmy John's once a week. Shit's fire.
But a couple of the guys ordered Jimmy John's. And the one guy is like a big guy. Tall, big guy.
Jimmy John's has hot sandwiches now.
Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But he ordered like the gargantuan.
Oh, yeah. It's a big boy. I don't need the big boy.
And he separated it into different, sections. And he only had, by the time he finished, he only had like one of the 4-inch sections left.
Oh, damn, dude.
Right?
I was hungry.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, so this is at the very, very beginning of him getting his sandwich, pulling it out of the bag like fucking...
You said it wrong.
Big.
Big.
And slapping that thing on the table, right? Just boom, big dick in the locker room.
Just whipping it out.
Boom, sandwich on the table. And our deputy chief was sitting at the table and was like, damn, that's a big sandwich. And like the innuendo started, coming up. And
what? Firefighters making dick jokes?
yeah, but so
what?
with the chief being in, it's like you have to tread that line, right? You got to tread the line of you want to hint at it and be subtle and get your point across, but not be like, oh, he's got to send me to HR now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've all seen our episodes or heard our episodes, and
well, we lived them.
Well, yeah. And I do not have the finer points of subtlety.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta tiptoe around the dick jokes.
And so someone's like, well,
you have to use specific words like throbbing
what?
or veiny
No.
or throat goat.
Someone was like trying to like just take a jab at me and be like, oh, well, this is, Andy could finish this sandwich.
This is a Tuesday night for him.
Yeah, and I just went, just relax the throat, drop the jaw.
Yeah.
And I said that in front of
I think that's subtle enough. To me,
No, it wasn't
No?
because
It was too
everybody
much.
like started just dying laughing. Just
you
like
gonna spit on that thing first or what?
no.
Don't gag on it.
Stick your tongue out a little.
Just put the meat right in your mouth. It just makes it easier. The white stuff makes it go down easier. Talking about mayonnaise, obviously.
Obviously, we're talking about mayonnaise.
Nancy Reagan knows all about the mayonnaise.
Mm.
That's how she locked down the White House. God damn it!
So yeah, I said that in front of the chief, and I'm like, I stopped after everybody laughed for a good 3 minutes,
Jesus.
and I just went, well, there goes any hope of any future promotions for
right.
me.
Yeah, you're getting bucked there. Oh, Andy made one too many dick jokes.
Yeah,
Nobody cares if I make dick jokes at work.
no,
It's nice. Mm-hmm. Relax the throat.
drop the jaw.
Yeah, that's right. It goes down easier. Was it what kind of gargantuan did it get? Was it a ham sandwich?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Ham's a little more salty usually.
Goes better with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mm. And it was before drill night. That's why the chief was there. So he had to. He slammed that fast.
Mm. Oh,
He wasted no time.
quick work. Just straight. The my legitimate only complaint about Jimmy John's is they don't cut both sides of the sandwich. They just cut the one side and then they shove everything in there. So when you get to like the last bite,
It's all shooting out the other side.
right? It's like imagery and
Yeah.
it's all sticking out. And anyway,
My biggest complaint is, and I guess this is probably just me, is, and I don't know how. I should preface this by, how do you eat sandwiches? Do you approach the sandwich the same way every time?
well, yeah, I strategically
Right?
look at how I placed. If I make the sandwich, I always use hamburger buns. Usually, I don't use like regular bread when
Okay.
I make sandwiches. Like if I building my own sandwiches, a hamburger bun, and then deli meat, cheese, and then some sort of. Usually it's dark mustard because
Okay.
it's fucking delicious.
But like,
But what I do is I eat, or if it's a sandwich that I buy, like when I go to Jimmy John's once a fucking week, which side is going to be the tastiest first bite?
okay, I can appreciate that.
How?
I could appreciate that. How do you hold your Jimmy John sandwich?
Jimmy John's, they don't cut it in the middle, so you gotta. It's a two-fister.
I know it's a two-fister. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So do you bring the sandwich up cradling the top part of the sandwich with your right hand or your left hand?
The top, my left is on the top,
Right.
and it's like I'm swinging a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My gripe is if I'm doing that, right, left on top, and I'm going in for a fucking big ass fucking bite of sandwich.
The salty meat.
Yep. If I
See,
do that,
could use that.
If I do that, the bottom of the bun has to be towards my chin.
Wait, hang on. So
the top nice part of the bread, right? The little the loaf of bread
yeah,
has to be on top. Right? When they cut it
yeah,
and they flip it open,
yeah.
the bottom where it rested on the pan has to be on my thumb.
Oh no, I'm not that specific. I just kind of
Like it's like
grip it and rip it.
It's
baby.
weird. It's like a preference of mine. And
well, next time we have Jimmy John sandwiches, we're gonna study each other and go, "Oh, that's how."
It's so weird because like I'll know exactly when it doesn't happen because I'll bring it up and go, "Someone didn't cut the bread right."
The Jimmy John's I go to, it's a lot of high school kids,
But I
fucking
can't.
amateurs.
But I can't call them back and be like, "You didn't cut the bread right," because
I ate
this
the whole
is just
goddamn sandwich.
well that and it's just the preference of how I,
Deep throat.
gobble meat.
Yeah, deep throat your fucking
Right?
sando.
And not only and it's not just Jimmy John's. Subway does it too.
Subway's trash, but Subway cuts all the way through the bread. Usually,
Not usually. Not for me.
if you ask them to, they will.
I don't usually ask them to.
I do. But I haven't eaten
Sorry.
at Subway in fucking a year at least. Subway's trash, and it's so goddamn expensive now. Jimmy John's all the way. Jersey Mike's, though. I'm a big fan of Jersey Mike's.
I don't go there very often.
When we're traveling back home, there's one on the way, and it's usually a good pit stop. You can crush a Sando, and then take a piss, and then get back on the road. There's one on the way.
I like Five Guys.
I think I've had Five Guys once. It's exhausting.
That's one more time than I have.
It's exhausting
Yeah.
and expensive.
I usually stop at 4.
Yep. This has been another episode
Your face says it all.
of the Buzz Basement Bros podcast. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, and email us at buzzbasementbrospodcast@gmail.com. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Andrew.
And we out. Show me your leadership capabilities. It's funny as fuck, dude.